Verse number 31. Read it again.
Simon, Simon, Satan has asked to sift all of you as wheat. All of us as wheat.
Read it again.
Simon, Simon, Satan has asked to sift all of us as wheat.
Let's pray. Father, we thank you, oh God, for this day, God. We thank you for all that you're about to do. We thank you for all that you're about to say. We surrender our will to your will. We surrender our way to your way, God. Seize my mind, seize my heart, seize my tongue. Only let me speak that which you want me to speak, oh God. I declare, God, that your word go forth with power, God, and I declare that it shall transform lives, transform hearts, transform mindsets. And Father, now in the name of Jesus, oh God, we declare, oh God, that as you preach today with clarity, oh God, with comprehension, knowledge, and understanding, God, I declare, oh God, that this word shall plant a seed in the hearts of your people, oh God, and you will water it, and it shall begin to grow, oh God, that we may understand, oh God, our process to progress, oh God. And we thank you, oh God. We thank you for all that you're doing. We thank you for all that you're about to do, oh God, and we give you glory in advance, oh God, in Jesus' name. And the saints of God said amen. Amen. I want you to look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, the preacher don't talk about, there's a process to progress. 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 Touch yourself, say there's a process to progress. There's a process to progress. Before you get oil out of the olive must go through a process. Before oil comes out of the olive goes through a process, and the process is not chosen by the olive, but the process is chosen by the creator of the olive. Because if the olive could choose its own process, the olive would not choose a process that is painful, that is gruesome, that hurts, that's uncomfortable. But because the Creator knows best, the Creator chooses the process, and the olive benefits from what comes out of the process. Let the church say process. Now the process for the olive is painful. Let the church say painful. In order to get to progress a lot of times come by way of pain. Let the church say pain. Most people don't realize that pain and the absence of margin are related. Yeah. Many of us are suffering pain and hardship not because we are sick, not because of arthritis, but because pain is associated with progress. And did you know that 9 times out of 10 that pain shows up because you're living marginless? Yeah, see, because marginless living brings about frustration and agitation, and you're overwhelmed. And when you're overwhelmed, you're disappointed. And when you're disappointed, stuff don't go right, and then you blame it on God. But a lot of times, things don't go right because you got your hand in too many pots. And when you got your hand in too many pots, you can never be good at any one thing. You can just be all right at a lot of stuff. Y'all, I can't get no amens right there. And a lot of us can't focus long enough on one task to make it great. And so we settle for being mediocre in a lot of things, and we can never become great. So how can God make your name great when you be mediocre because you got a lot of stuff going on? So sometimes progress comes by way of pain. Let the church say pain. Let me prove it to you. Progress is associated with pain, and pain is associated with progress. I got a couple of notations here. I want you to check me out and see if this is accurate. How can a teacher feel so stressed when vacation lasts 8 to 9 weeks plus several times off a year in their work calendar without taking a day? And all through all the days they have off, we are still in need of mental health days and taking unnecessary sick days because there are some unrelated pain to progress. Yeah, because when they want their students to do well, a lot of times that comes with frustration, and it comes with agitation, and a lot of it comes with pain to progress, and we take sick days and unnecessary days just because we need mental health days, or when we already got days that we don't necessarily understand that we have those days to give us the mental health days, but we need more than what we need because there's pain in progress. I got another proof. He brought this notion to me. How is it that a homemaker is still tired despite the help of the wash machine and the clothes dryer and the dishwasher and the vacuum cleaner? I can't get no amens right there. You would have thought through all of the progress that we've made throughout the years, because see, my grandmama used to wash clothes on the washboard and hang clothes on the line, but now we got a wash machine and we got a dryer and we got a dishwasher, but yet the homemaker, the wife and the husband is still tired and frustrated, and the house is still nasty because there's still pain and progress. No, amen. I thought that there would be a lot of shouting at church, because in Jesus' days they used to walk on feet, and then they had camels. They used to walk on camels, but they still had to go in the heat of the day, and then God gave man the knowledge to come up with a half-decent car. And now some of us ride around in some of the nicest cars, and they're air-conditioned, and despite all of this progress, there's still pain when the car breaks down and you run out of gas and you need a new transmission and you got to buy a new radiator and stuff starts to tear up and tires wear out and you got to buy $1,000 tires because there's just pain in progress, because what used to be good gears now run flats, and run flats cost more than good gear, and if you buy run flats, even though you don't go on flat, there's still pain when you have to buy new tires to progress. I can't get no amens. I'm preaching real good. So the Lord says, if we are so prosperous and so blessed, why are the therapist's office full and the chiropractors are now in charge with realigning your bodies, and mental health counselors are discovering that more people have issues than what they thought? Because we have 10 times more materialistic abundance than our ancestors, but why are we not 10 times more fulfilled in purpose than them? Oh yeah, I can't get no amens right there. We got a lot more than our grandmamas had, and even though we got a lot more and we've seen progress, a lot of us still hadn't fulfilled more purpose than they ever feel. Oh, I better go back. Yeah. We have leisure, entertainments, convenience, and comfort. We are insulated. We have insulated ourselves from the unpredictable ravages of nature, yet stress, frustration, oftentimes despair, unexpectedly accompanied with our unraveled prosperity. What does that mean? That means that even though we got progress, and we got nicer homes, and we got nicer cars, and we have nicer clothes, and we work better jobs, and they pay a little bit more, we still come out more stressed, more overwhelmed, more overworked than they ever were. Why? Because a lot of times progress comes with pain. Oh yeah. Now, as far as we have come, and as many inventions and new technologies and new abilities, never did we suspect that one day pain and progress would join forces against us. Pain is the reason why folks come to church. Now, I got to walk on through the aisle right here. Most folk never showed up in church until they had an issue, a problem, a trial, or a crisis, and they was enduring some pain, and they needed some help that they couldn't get outside of the church. So most folks didn't come to Jesus because they was convicted. Most folks came to Jesus because they needed God to do something for them. And let's not get it twisted. The pain pushed them to progress of salvation and led their soul to a heaven so that they didn't never get to hell, all by way of pain. So yes, pain does have purpose. Pain has purpose, but yet we want to run from the pain, and we want to run from the pain, and we want to run from the trial and the tribulation, but yet we don't understand that the pain brings progress. And progress should lead to purpose. Let the church say purpose. Yeah. Yeah, so I came to figure out that pain is the reason why folks come to church. They come because they are a patient in need of a physician. And if they get healed, most of the patients that come to the doctor at the church after they get healed, most of them never return to the doctor as long as they don't have symptoms. Y'all don't want to talk to me. But healing is just a symbolic expression of progress. It is not indicative of purpose. So just because you get healed don't mean you have found purpose. Put up my first quote, Marissa. Just because you get healed don't mean you found purpose, but I want you to see this. You find purpose when you transition from the patient to the physician. Yeah. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? I heard T.D. Jakes tell a story about his mother was in the hospital, and the mother was in the hospital, and she had a couple of nurses. And the first nurse that came didn't treat the mother as patiently and as with much care as the family would have hoped. And every time the first nurse would move the mother, she would experience pain from the surgery she had just endured. And so T.D. Jakes is a very blunt man. He says, ma'am, no offense, but I need somebody that has a better touch. And if I'm not mistaken, the woman with the issue of blood had a lot of physicians, but they just didn't have the right touch. But the second nurse that was on duty, T.D. Jakes said she come in and she handled his mother differently, and she treated her a little bit differently. And then T.D. Jakes began to compliment her, and the woman, the second nurse, looks at T.D. Jakes and he said, how is it that you work a little bit better with my mother than the last nurse, and both of y'all went to the same school and got the same training and had the same education? And the woman said, the difference between the two of us is I have gone through the surgery that your mother is going through. So the second nurse understood the pain that the mother was going through, and so she knew how to handle. Y'all don't want to hear what I'm saying. And so a lot of times when you experience pain, the pain ain't for you. The pain is for you to transition from being the patient to the physician, so that one day that you can walk out of being healed, you can go out and do the same. Y'all don't want to hear what I'm saying. Because pain should lead to purpose, but a lot of you complain in the pain and never see the purpose. Yeah. So he says to me, he says, don't stop at progress. Progress should end in purpose. You don't get a healing, so you never need the healer. You don't get a blessing, so you never need the blesser. Many people come to the house, they get the gift, and they leave the giver. But remember, the gift will eventually run out, and soon you will need the giver again. So remember, the gift is never better than the giver, and y'all don't want to hear what I'm saying. And God is telling me to tell about 5 people. He says, never show up at the church and just want the gift. Never show up and just want the blessing. Never show up and just want the healing. Never show up and just want the money. Never show up and just want the peace. But if you take God opposed to the peace, you will always have peace. But if you come and just get the peace, your peace will soon run out, and you will need the giver of the peace again. Gonna come to church and find about 5 people right there. I wish I had 5 people just say, I just want the giver of what I need. I don't need the stuff. All I need is the giver, because I know if I get the giver, I'll never run out. And that's what the problem in the church is. A lot of y'all come with handouts and y'all want God to give you stuff, then he gives it to you and you need him again. Because you walked away with the gift and not the giver. So he said, soon, angel, the patient should transition from patient to physician. What does that mean? That means soon, after coming to church for 10 years, you should transition from spectator to participator. Soon, after coming to church, and God heals you, and he blesses you, and he gets you out of a financial rut, you should change from a complainer to a worshiper, from a laborer to a sower. I can't get no help. I wish I could find. Because when the giver gives you something, it should transition you from in need of something to being a person who can give what you receive. He says to me, you will always be much better as a physician when you have been a patient first. Oh, that's deep. A physician is a better doctor if they've gone through what you have gone through. They treat you a little bit better when you show up. See, if a doctor never had the flu, they might walk in, look at you and say, oh yeah, you got the flu, never check your vitals, give you some medicine and walk out. no customer service. They don't treat you with patience and care. They don't do what you expect them to do. But let a doctor experience the worst set of flu, and you walk in after they've been healed from the flu, then they're going to treat you a little bit better, because a physician is a lot better when they've been a patient, because they have experience. Let the church say experience. That's why it's important that we know the difference between progress and process. I want y'all to see something. Progress is such a natural word today that most of us can't think about life without it. Nobody thinks about going backwards. Everybody wants to move forward. Everybody wants to have a positive difference show up in their lives. And since progress is moving forward, everybody wants progress. Can I get an amen right there? Amen. Nobody wants regression to regress. Nobody wants to go backwards. Everybody wants to move forward. And so forward moving means that you have progress. And so it's human nature to want progress. Let the church say progress. Progress. So in the text, Luke chapter 22, verse 31, read it. I want to show you process and progress.
Simon, Satan has asked to sift all of you as wheat.
Satan has asked to sift all y'all in here today as wheat. Read the next verse.
But I have prayed for you, Simon, that your faith may not fail.
When I read this again, because I preached this before, it took a different turn on me. And when I read it this time, I wonder in the text if Satan is your enemy. I wonder, because we always say Satan is our enemy, I wonder in this particular text, is Satan our enemy? Because Jesus said Satan desires to sift you as wheat. So to understand the text, I must look up what it means to sift. So I checked out the word sift. Of course, you know how I do it. And I found out how you sift wheat. And when you sift wheat, it goes through a painful process of separation of the chaff from the wheat. Y'all don't want to hear what I'm saying. And so the more I dug into it, I found out that what Satan's job was when he sifted us as wheat is to separate us from the stuff that make us look bad and the stuff that brings us pain. And see, you don't realize that the chaff is the thistle bush, and the chaff is the weed, and the chaff is the thing that makes the wheat die. And so Satan comes to sift you so that all of that stuff is not in your life. So I wonder if Satan is really the enemy when he comes to separate you from stuff that's not good for you. I might need to go and preach at your cousin church. Because when was separation of that which is bad from your good sound more like God to me than it is Satan. Read the text, verse 31.
Simon, Satan has asked to sift all of us.
Satan has asked to help Dee out. But because she's so blinded and she's been programmed to think that the enemy always works on the bad side of us, that we can never see the God in the enemy showing up. Because God don't get his hands dirty. So I had a question that came to mind, and the question was this. I believe in the text that God was using Satan, and he didn't even know it. And so I stopped by for just about 30 seconds right here to tell you, whatever you call the enemy in your life over the last 2 weeks, over the last 2 months, it might not really be your enemy. Even though it's saved, he might not be your enemy in this moment. He really might be working on the behest of God so that he can separate you from some stuff that ain't good for you. Y'all, because who better than Satan, who knows who's bad for you, to separate? Y'all don't want to, y'all second quote, he said, most of you trust progress more than you trust God. Yeah. Oh, yes. Most of us trust progress more than we trust God. Oh, yeah, this is good right here. We have faith in progress. We don't have faith in God. Because we assume that the solution to any problem could be entrusted in progress. What does that mean? That means that when you got a problem, you believe that it has been solved when progress shows up. So that means that every time progress shows up, you equate that to God. So really you are trusting progress more than you are trusting God. I can't get no amens. Let me back up and prove it to you. Because a lot of us, we will complain as long as we are lacking finances. And I hate to go this route, but the Lord says, let you get a promotion or let you get a raise. You will shout about that because you trust progress more than you trust God. Because you should have shouted when you lost the job because God was setting you up for a new opportunity. But yet you waited till you had progress. You waited till progress showed up for you to shout. And that shows me you don't really trust God. You trust progress. I better go back up here. See, when stuff tear up in your life, you ain't shouting in the moments that it tear up. You shout in the moments that it get fixed because you are shouting on progress. What do I mean? We got a raise, we saw progress. We got a promotion, we saw progress. With the promotion and the raise, we began to have faith in the progress, meaning we began to put our faith in the promotion and the raise. Then we omit the paying of our tithes and the giving of offering. That's because now we have faith in progress, and progress then reminds you that God gave the promotion and God gave the raise, and progress will begin to tell you you don't have to work. Y'all don't want to hear what I'm saying? Progress will begin to tell you that the raise and the promotion was God when it might not be God if you still ain't paying your tithes. Go back. And that's how slick progress is. Progress will step in your house, in your bed, and when you don't get the promotion and when you don't get the job, progress will tell you not to pay God what you owe him so that you can progress. Y'all don't want to hear it. See, we thought Satan was the enemy, but I'm thinking right now progress might be the enemy. I got y'all thinking right now. Y'all on the edge of your seats. Come here, somebody. Y'all, yes. Oh, help me, Holy Ghost. Because in that moment, when we say to ourselves that we will refuse to give God what we owe him because we don't have to pay something that we can't afford to pay, then we are saying to progress, I trust you as long as I have progress. Watch this. Watch this. But faith in God will shout when it's about to get turned off. Faith in God will shout when the healing didn't come like you expected it to come. Faith in God will shout when you lose the job, not when you get it. Watch this. Watch this. Progress seems to have gotten some of us faster cars, better medicine, and the power to communicate better with each other. Watch this. Yes, progress shows better communication tools, but we have lost our ability to communicate with the main person we should talk to the most. This is why progress, break it down, seems so wonderful. But if it were so wonderful, why do we drink and drug to forget our problems? Why are we divorcing at such high rates? Why are people killing themselves and others in such high numbers? You want to know why? Because people are trusting progress more than they are trusting God. And watch this. I found out God stopped by last night and he told me, he said, margin has been stolen away and progress was the thief. Come on. Come on. We are chasing after progress when we should be chasing after God. And anytime you chase after progress more than you chase after God, then eventually what you're chasing after will let you down. And when it lets you down, then you're disappointed, frustrated, you're agitated, and everything seems more than what you can bear. But if you had started off chasing the right thing and made the main thing, then when you didn't get what you expected, but God made you be patient to wait on something better. And when the better shows, y'all don't want to hear what I'm saying, and when better shows up, you will understand why God didn't give you what you thought you should have had. And because God always knew what was, y'all want to hear what I'm saying? Because see, even though you got a new weave and you got some new nails, there's always a better weave and some better nails. There's always a better hairstylist and there's always a better nail. Y'all want to hear? There's always better shoes and better clothes. But guess what? If I can just get to God. Yeah. Right. Let me go back. He says, I got to get to my puzzle piece. Our relationships are being starved to death, all for the sake of progress. No one has the time to listen, let alone love. Everyone is after progress, so much so that they have forgotten purpose. And if you forget purpose, are you really experiencing progress? Because real progress should lead to purpose, but most of us are on our way to progress. We feel like we are in a mess. Uh-oh, here we go. We're on our way to progress, but we feel like we're in a mess. But a lot of us would never equate mess to progress. But God is the one that say, when you're in the mess, I'm going to make your mess a message. And so your mess is actually symbolic that you're on your way to progress, on your way to purpose. But you don't shout on the mess. You shout only when progress shows up. And this is where the church has gone wrong. We should shout while we're in the mess. Okay. Oh, yeah, I'm going to prove it to you. Because he let me know one thing. Marissa, put up the first one. He says that a lot of us, put up the first picture. A lot of us, I want you to grab your puzzle piece. A lot of us, we're in this life and we're in a mess. And we're trying to figure out what purpose is and what it looks like. And the only thing we have is this one puzzle piece. And it's hard to see the picture of purpose when you only got one piece of the puzzle. But God says this is how a lot of your lives are. Put up the second picture. A lot of us, I feel God right here. A lot of us have concentrated so much so on the one puzzle piece that we forgot that the puzzle comes with a lot of pieces. But we ignore the rest of the pieces because when you look at the puzzle pieces, only thing you see is a mess. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You look and you see, can you look at the mess you're in? Can you see the mess? Huh? Why is it that when you bought the puzzle didn't come put together? I'm trying to look for a church. Because a lot of you thought that when you came to Jesus, then the puzzle should have come together. But when you came to Jesus and you got saved, you still look like this. He says, we're looking for the picture to purpose, but we can't see progress in the mess. And we're asking God for the picture of the purpose. Ain't it hard to put a puzzle together and you've never seen the picture? Yeah. Wish I could find a church. I'm going to slow it down, right? And this is what a lot of you are saying without saying to God, it is hard, this life that I'm trying to live it, and I've never gotten a glimpse of where you wanted me to be. And the only thing that I can see in my life is a whole bunch of pieces that look like a mess. Marriage look like a mess. My job not going the way I planned look like a mess. Don't have the funds bonding that I thought I would have at this age, mess. I'm not working where I thought I would be working, mess. I don't have the benefits and the retirement I thought I would have, mess. I'm not where I wanted to be. I just feel like if I really think about it, all of the stuff I had to go through to get to where I am today, but I'm still not where I wanted to be. If I had to be quite honest, I'd say I'm in a mess. Say I'm in a mess. But hold your puzzle piece up. You got a piece of the puzzle, but you hadn't saw the picture. You run away from the mess, but in the mess are the other pieces to the puzzle. We push aside the mess, and we want deliverance from the mess, and we want God to take us out of the mess, but in the mess are the pieces to the puzzle. You've been asking God to see purpose, but you weren't asking God for the mess. But when you asked him for purpose, the mess showed up because the pieces of the puzzle is in the mess. Yeah. Right. Oh, y'all can't find y'all. I'm looking. And because a lot of us, we're saying, we're trying to figure it out, God. I'm trying to understand it, God. I need to know what it looked like, God. Help me just to see it, God. I can't even see it for myself. But the only thing I can see when I look out is just the mess. And God is saying, I'm trying to show you the picture. But I failed to tell you that the only way you're going to get the picture is you got to learn how to put the mess together. Read it, Bridget. Verse 31.
Simon, Simon, Satan has asked to sift all of you as wheat.
Read the next verse.
But I have prayed for you, Simon, that your faith may not fail.
He says, I prayed for you, Sam, not that you don't endure pain. And not that you don't go through storms. Because Jesus could have easily prayed that you didn't go through it. He could have easily spoken that you didn't have to endure it. He could have easily said, let Bridget have the best life of her life. He could have easily spoke those things. He could have easily prayed. He said, I have prayed for Yaya. He didn't say, I have prayed for Yaya so that she didn't be broke, so that she didn't have to go through, so that she would never end up in a mess. But he said that I have prayed for Yaya, that even when she in a mess, and even when she broke, and even when she choose the wrong knucklehead, and even when she do some things that she have no business doing, I am praying not for Yaya, because Yaya will fail herself, and everybody around her will fail her. But if Yaya holds on to this one thing, Yaya will always be able to put it back together. I wish I could find somebody. So God said, I have decided to pray for the one thing in your life that will allow you to always pick up the pieces and put them together again. He said, I have prayed for you that your faith, not that your boyfriend don't fail, or your husband don't fail, or that your marriage don't fail, or that your job don't fail. I didn't pray that you get a promotion. I just prayed that your faith. Why did Jesus pray for his faith? Because everywhere in the New Testament that I checked out Jesus, when he manifested something, he looked at the folks and he said that the thing that you just got, that you thought you got from me, you didn't get it from me, you got it from faith. He said, and your faith has made you whole, and your faith has healed you. So I'm going to pray for the thing that's going to cause a manifestation in your life. So don't you worry about the mess. Don't you worry about the pain. Don't you even worry about the trial. Just concentrate on the faith. And that's what he's speaking to many of you today. He's saying, don't let your faith fail. He said, take your faith out of progress and put your faith in God. He said, and never let your faith fail. Because watch this. He said, Peter, Simon, Simon, I pray for you that your faith don't fail. Go down to the next verse. Jesus is all-knowing, right? He's omnipotent and omniscient. He said what?
But he replied, Lord, I am ready to go with you to prison and to death.
I'm almost done. Read the next verse.
Jesus answered, I tell you, Peter, before the rooster crows today, you will deny 3 times.
He said, I pray for you that your faith don't fail. But I'm telling you that you're about to fail 3 times in one day. I'm going to pray that your faith don't fail because I know Angel going to fail 3 times. But as long as Angel keeps her faith, watch this, Simon started off in a mess. But this same Simon, if you check it in the book of Acts, he can walk by with his mess. And the Bible says that his mess, his shadow. I can't get no amen. His shadow would heal folks. Why? Because Jesus prayed not for the mess. He prayed for his faith. And the faith is what causes manifestations. And as long as Peter kept the faith, he can always manifest something. Faith leads to progress. And the church say faith leads to progress.
Faith leads to progress.
Put up the picture of the puzzle. I want y'all to hold your puzzle piece out. Now that God has shown you your purpose and destiny, look at your puzzle piece. Can you imagine where that puzzle piece fits in that puzzle? You just got the one puzzle piece. Huh? You just got the one puzzle piece. Can you imagine where the one puzzle piece that you do have fits in your puzzle? Can you, now that you see the picture, oh yeah, y'all, I can shout. Now that you see the picture, can you pinpoint exactly where, hold the one puzzle, can you pinpoint where that one puzzle piece fits in the puzzle? You might have an idea of where it fits. But I guarantee you don't know the exact slot where it fits. Even after you have seen the full picture. Y'all don't want to hear what I'm saying. And a lot of you have been asking for the full picture, but a lot of you can't even comprehend the full picture, even if he show it to you. So God said, y'all don't want to hear what I'm saying. So God said, I have to give you one piece at a time, because if I give you all of it, a lot of you will start working in a place you should not start in, because I'm the only one know where you should start and where you should be. I'm trying to find a real church, y'all. Because y'all got the full picture, don't you? Now tell me where you fit in the picture. You've been asking God for the full picture. And now that you have it, what you gonna do with it? You got your hold your puzzle piece up, because that's what y'all been asking it for. I just want to know the full. Tell me where all this is headed. And he ain't said a word. He says, figure out what to do with the one before I give you the next one. Wow. Well, watch this. If I told you, everybody hold your puzzle piece up. If I told you that there is somebody in here that has the matching piece that goes to your piece, and I gave you enough time, and I was patient with you long enough, eventually the process will help you figure out where your puzzle piece goes. But a lot of folks want to skip over the process and get to the full picture, but you don't even understand the full picture unless you go through the process. Y'all want to hear what I'm saying? So I said, God, what do you say? God is saying all of the pain, all the trials, all the troubles that you had to do. He said, think back over all those things. He said, all of those things are painted in this full picture. The full picture of your purpose encompasses everything you've had to go through. So I say to God, watch this, y'all, and I'm done. I said, what do you want me to tell him? He said, can he trust you with messy stuff? Can you trust him when you planned on your life going one way, but it has gone a totally different way? Can you trust him when the healing don't show up? Because the messier the situation means the bigger the puzzle. And the bigger the puzzle is the greater the picture. And the greater the picture, the greater the anointing. And the greater the anointing, the bigger the picture, the more God got in store for you. So the bigger your mess, the bigger the blessing. And a lot of you just want a small mess, and then you want a big blessing. But you can't get big blessings without big message. I can't get no amens right there. Because the big messes lead to big messages, and without big messages, I can't have big messages. He says, prophesy to them before you close on part 2. I'm going to prophesy because now that you got the full picture and you still holding your one piece, he said prophesy, and I'm done. Amos, I want y'all to write this down. Somebody called me and said, hey, read Amos. I said, okay. When I read it, it shook my whole spirit up. And the Lord said, prophesy. Y'all better write this one down. I'm going to get, you going to prophet. Come on, prophet. Y'all lift your hand. We done. Read it as a prophet with authority. Y'all listen. Lift your hands so you can receive it.
Yes, indeed. For the Lord says, yes, indeed. It won't be long now. This is God's decree.
Keep reading.
Things are going to happen so fast that your head will swim. One thing fast on the heels of the other. You won't be able to keep up, says the Spirit of the Lord. Everything will be happening at once, and everywhere you look, blessings. 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 Blessings like wine pouring off the mountain and hills. I'll make everything right again for my people, says the Spirit of the Lord. They'll rebuild, they'll ruin cities, they'll plant vineyards and drink good wine, says the Spirit of the Lord. They'll work their gardens and eat fresh vegetables, and I'll plant them on their own land. Hallelujah. They will never again be uprooted from the land I've given them. God, your God says so.
Well, who said it?
God. Your God says so.
God, your God says. Go back, Marissa. Go back to the first one. He said, yes, indeed. It won't be long now. I come to prophesy to somebody that I don't know what it's been, what you've been looking for. But God said, tell somebody it won't be long now. This is his decree. This is not Pastor Will's decree. This is God's decree. It won't be, put up the next one. It won't be long now. Things are going to happen so fast that your head going to swim. And one thing going to happen after the next one, and blessings going to be on your heels. Y'all want it? He said, you won't even be able to keep up with the blessings. Everything will happen all at once. And everywhere you look, just start looking all over. Everywhere you look, he said blessings. Blessings like wine pouring off. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying. Blessings like new wine, fresh wine, pouring off of the mountains and the hills. He said, I'm getting ready to make it right again. He said, tell about 25 people. He said, I'm getting ready to make it right again. I don't know what it is you've been asking. Somebody in here been asking him to make something right again. God said, I'm getting ready to make it right again. It has been in this shape and this situation far too long. And God said, I'm getting ready to make it right again. For my people at the Word Center, I mean Israel. Everybody that's at church today, I mean Israel. Put up the next verse. He said, I'm getting ready to reveal some stuff. I'm getting ready to plant some stuff. He said, and I'm going to plant it this time, and I'm going to plant it on what I gave to you, your own land. Then watch this. He said, what I do, it shall not be uprooted from the land that I've given them. God, your God. Touch yourself, say, my God. My God says so. I don't care how messy your puzzle looks as of today. you a glimpse of the full picture, but I hope that you are ready to see what I'm getting ready to show you. But in the midst of that, God said, tell them I'm getting ready to do some stuff. I'm getting ready to rectify some stuff. I'm getting ready to plant some stuff. I'm getting ready to do some stuff all over again. God, your God says,